What's up, guys? It's me, Crash, here, talking about some IC on YouTube, and today we're going to be going over the Amplifier pages. Now, Amplifier pages, as of late, have been something that have been kind of requested a bit. They haven't been really covered really well in a guide or on a video in a long time. I know I put out a video kind of going over mods a while back, but we're going to be talking about those today. And so you can see you do have your amplifiers tab over here, and the amplifiers, as you can see in the title of the video, are going to make up your mods and augments. So the amplifier is the whole page as a whole. Let's just go ahead and get the terms down. Then you have your 3 mods and your 4 augments. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and rip this page apart, and we are going to talk about what's offered here in the mods and augments section. So to start off, you have your amplifier page, brand new. You can name it, and you can give it an image. Some of these, you might notice, these are like assassins, these are like blasters, these are like bruisers, controllers, enforcers. These are hybrid, which is really weird because there's not really any hybrid in the game, and this is like marksman. So you can kind of like, you know, throw something on there if you want to like set it apart from your other pages and give it kind of like its own feel. So today we're going to be going over some of these mods and augments, and I'm probably going to be building out the page I just currently had. And then talking about what I take, what I think is good, and just going over everything as a whole. So we're not going to go through all of these, but we are going to take a look at some key ones. So, for example, I'm a jungler. That's an easy example. I'm going to go ahead and go over Marauders. Now, you can go ahead and filter on these pages as well, but let's talk about Marauder Knife just as an item. It doesn't matter if you're a jungler or not. We're just looking at the item and what it has to offer as a as mods for it. So there are 3 mods offered for Marauder Knife, and we can take a look. There is, and they all have their own name. I'm not going to go into it. This one's like Cord Industries mod, enhanced attack damage Marauder Knife. So we're not going to look at that really. We're just going to look at what it gives you. So this gives you plus 10 attack damage on tier 3. This one gives you 100 credits off of tier 1, and this one gives you plus it gives you piercing 1 keyword, which is going to be plus 10 attack penetration at tier 4. Now, those are 3 different mods. They all give you 3 different things, or have the ability to give you 3 different things. And let's kind of dissect those a little bit, because this is a common theme that you're going to see throughout all the mods. Some of them are credits off. Some of them are going to give you a better passive, a new keyword. They're going to give you higher stats, like armor, like health, like damage. And that's pretty much what almost all the mods are. And we'll take a look at some more examples after I get over this as well. But let's talk about why I think you should take which ones and which ones are good. So there's a couple of usages here. This one, probably going to be the best one. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on my page. You can see it gives you plus 10 attack damage on tier 3. That's just flat damage. Boom. Once you build that item, whatever the stats are on the item, it goes up 10. Really good usage. You only get 3 of these slots, so you got to pick some really good stuff. Now, let's talk about this next one. Discounted. These mods are useless. I mean, like, to the point where Turbine could actually take them out of the game. If you're new to the game and you think, oh, dude, it would be an awesome idea to get 300 credits off or 100 credits off of these items, like, yeah, you're not wrong. But what happens when you have a full page of credits off, or even just 1 mod of credits off? You hit late game, you've got all your items. They hit late game, they've got all their items. Boom, they're ahead of you because they have something like this. So don't even spend your merit. Just don't. Like, this one I think I got for free. For leveling up. This one I just never bought. But let's just think about this. I just want to be blunt. I'm trying to help you guys learn a little bit. I want to talk about the game as much as I can, and like really teach. Don't spend credits on credits off. You'll see it's a consistent thing. I do not own these. They're useless. You don't need them at all. And this one is a different option. If you're not going to look to pick up something like Coda next, you could go ahead and put piercing on this weapon. But I'm not going to be using that. So this one actually is pretty good itself, but it's a little bit different usage. So let's look at a different example. Let's look at the Codeblade, because the Codeblade's a core item on Marksman. It's a core item on Bruisers, Assassin. If you're AD, you're building Codeblades. So let's look at the 3 options we've got here. We're going to start from right to left. Now, this one, tier 4, 350 credits off. Don't waste your time. I'm telling you right now, don't waste your time. You do not need this at all. It's not going to give you anything. It's just not. You don't need it. This one's pretty interesting, and I've seen some arguments made for this one, and we're going to talk about why I don't personally take this particular mod, but again, we're not really here to talk about specific items. We're here to talk about the different mods that you can take, and just so you can learn. So this one is you get a keyword at an earlier tier So that means wounding attack, which is usually granted to you at tier 4, you will now get at tier 3. Now, here's the reason why this is good and why it's bad. Something like this, and this is very unique. It's an earlier tier, so you're going to get this anyway if you buy your item all the way up. But wounding is also very specific. You don't really need wounding like right away. It's not like a core thing to get at tier 4 on Marauder, or tier 4 on Coda. You don't really get anything. You get like 5 pen, and then you get wounding. So modding this, in a sense, is kind of like wasting a mod slot because it's something you're going to get eventually anyway. So there's just kind of no point. So I just kind of want to cover that. Something like this, I really don't think you need. In my personal opinion, and this goes for all mods, we're going to take a look at like 3-4 more different types of items so I can show you. I think plus flat stats on every mod is the best. Boom. Plus 10 damage. This is half an item right here. Almost, you know, 2/3 of an item or something like that. Like a small item, this is 20 damage. These items have like 50 damage on them max, 40 damage on them. So we're building an item on our page specifically. It's pretty good. So, yeah, I think you guys should benefit the most, or would benefit the most, by looking at the flat stats. And yeah, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to look at 2 tank items, and I'm going to look at a power damage item. So let's look at a power damage item that's pretty strong in current meta. Fatality's Energy Lance. We got 5 cooldown reduction. We got 100 credits, 150 credits off. Again, I don't own it. Don't buy it. It's a waste. And then we have plus 15 power damage. 5 cooldown reduction, that's pretty good. If you're looking to go for like a max CDR build, you could put this on your page. But then look at this. Plus 15 damage. Boom. That's good damage. Boom. Slot that on a power page if you want it. Alright, let's look at a couple of tank items. We're going to look at Entropy Aegis. This is not something I mod often, but it's not bad. There's a couple good mods in here. There's a lot of mods for Entropy Aegis. Plus 75 health, not bad. The only ones that I don't really care for on flat stats are the plus health. You don't really need plus health because you can get a lot of health on a lot of items. So modding for plus health whenever there's some other options is not necessarily the best. Let's take a look at this one. This is a pretty good mod that you will see maybe every now and then. It'll be on a specific page, like if you know who you're going up against, what kind of composition you're going against, you could pick something like this. So this is going to be skill block 2. Now the Entropy Aegis usually has skill block 1 on it, and I believe it's like grants a shield, prevents damage, blah 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 on X cooldown. I think this like cuts that in half. So this gives you that shield like every 30 seconds. It's pretty awesome. So not bad. This one pretty good as well. That flat armor, boom, plus 15 more power armor. And then I think, like I said, I got this one for like leveling up for free. 350 credits off. It's useless. You don't need it. So not bad. You want to look at the passives. You want to look at anything that makes percentages go up. You want to look at anything that has flat stats on it, maybe other than health, because you're going to see these healths, plus healths are on like everything. So you don't really need that. Now let's take a look at the last item, Booster Golds. This is going to be an armor health item. So again, plus 75 health. Not bad. I mean, it gives you a little bit more health. It's not even like 100 health. It's not really that great. This one's pretty good, but it's really niche. It's you'll build this in a very really like I don't know how to say it, like a really specific scenario. This increases the magnitude of temporary health shields you receive by 15%. So if you're playing with like an Ivy and a Zatanna or something like that, some weird double shielding or some crazy shielding composition, you could take this and then you'll be taking really big shields. Like you'll be getting a shield boost. And then this one is plus 5 cooldown reduction. So unfortunately, in my opinion, Boosters doesn't have a great mod for it. But again, you can kind of take a look. There's no credits off, so this item gets to kind of, I don't know, it takes a break from that useless mod slot. But again, so there's a lot of mods. A lot are useless. 150 off. Let's take a look at some of those. 250 off. Useless. Let's see. 100 off. Useless. 300 off. Useless. 350 off, useless. I mean, a lot of these increasing auras, you know, there's a lot of really good mods in here that you might want. Double stacking on anything that's collector, you can take double stacking or a bigger stacks. There's some really cool stuff in here. Don't waste your slots on like a little bit of additional health. Like you can see, there's a plus 75 health on like every health item. You don't really need to mod for that, in my opinion. So look at some of the flat stats, look at some of the percentages and the additional skill words or keywords you're gonna get, the better passives, something like this. And kind of take a look at that. Like this, boom, gives you more minus attack speed percentage. Not bad. And then, or you could just get flat armor. So take a look at some of that stuff. For the sake of just building my page back out, we're going to put my crossbow mod back on. So look, let's take a look. This is perfect. This is a crossbow page I'm building. It's like a jungle AD crossbow page. I just take plus 10 damage. We got 250 credits off. and then plus a 10% attack speed. That's not terrible. I mean, it's pretty good if you're really looking to go for attack speed, but that's not really what this page is about. It's about getting like flat 80 damage and then building the crossbow as a core item. So you can see I can go for flat damage. So that's a little bit of a look into mods. If you have any more questions, you can ask in the comment section, but we're going to hop into augments pretty soon. Again, that really covers most of them. I mean, I know there's a lot in here, but they're all pretty repetitive. Like, unfortunately, for items like Starheart, there's just 350 off. I think it's the same for, like, Joe Chills. No, there's a good mod for Joe Chills. 350 credits off, you don't need that. But there's, like, a Deadly 3. That's pretty big. That's a crazy mod. So, pretty good mod here. Plus 10 damage, you know, you see. So, yeah, that's kind of it. Flat damage. Useless credits off. You can see I don't have, like, hardly any of these unless I got them for free. Alright, so let's talk about augments. There's a few things about augments that you really need to know, and it's a little complicated. It's actually, like, I think the thing that bothers me about augments is that some of them are absolutely useless, just like the mods. So let's take a look at this first mod here, or this first augment. Actually, we're going to look at one that I use often. I'm going to throw it in there just so I can have it. Let's look at Slasher. Codename Slasher as a mod. This gives you flat penetration and flat damage. And then there's something next to it that I feel like a lot of people probably don't know about, because it's not really... I don't really think it's explained. I really don't. I've never really read this over here, but I don't really think it's explained, to be completely honest. It got a G next to the pen and an S next to the damage, and I hope you guys can see that. It's right here. I can't point to it, but it's right below my mouse right now. And that stands for gold and silver. So there are actually mods, like individual stats on each augment. I said mods, sorry. There are actual individual stats. There's 2 of them on each, and they're rated gold, silver, or bronze. Now, the gold being the best, silver being second best, bronze being the worst. So there are mods in here, or there are augments in here, rather, that are rated gold, 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 gold. There's gold silvers, there's silver silvers, there's, I believe, gold bronze, there's bronze bronze, silver bronze. It's any combination of the 3. Why would you ever take the bronze bronze ones? Like this one's 350 merit? Why would I ever buy that? It's useless. Look at what you're buying, guys. Make sure you're picking up gold golds, gold silvers, silver golds, so because it flip-flops the stats. You don't want bronze silver. You don't want bronze bronze. You don't want gold bronze, really. I mean, you really don't. You can take the higher ones. So let's look at the one that I put on here. Flat pen gold, flat attack damage silver. Not bad. Gold silver. Boom. Pretty good. There's a gold one out there. I think it might be Kai. No. Okay. So yeah, take golds. Look at what you're getting. So you want the golds, you want the gold silvers, you want maybe a silver from time to time. Anything that has bronze on it, you want to bypass. Don't waste your merit on it. Don't waste your time on it. So, let me go on ahead and throw some of these in here that I like to use. And we're going to talk about them. The page I build out, pretty good. We're going to talk about why I liked it. So, flat and scaling. Now, these are something that are going to be on these that you can take a look at, and it's pretty well explained. But if you've never looked at this before, this is the first time you're ever looking at these whole 21 pages. This is overwhelming. I understand. I looked at these the first time they ever introduced them, and I was just like, oh man, like I gotta go through these. Like, so let's take a look at flat versus scaling. What does flat mean? What does scaling mean? So scaling means as the course of the game goes on, as time goes on, it will give you more and more. Flat means, boom, the gate opens right at level 1, it gives me X. That number never changes. So let's look at this stat versus this stat. I know they're actually the same stats, which is kind of nice, actually. Kind of cool that it worked out that way for me. We have attack damage flat gold, attack penetration flat silver. This has attack damage scaling flat penetration. So we can see I have the silver at flat penetration 1.5, silver flat penetration 1.5. But this is flat attack damage 2.41. That's almost 2.5 damage. That means 2 damage on an item that has plus 10 for something like this. It would be 2. That's what that number is. 2.41. It's not a full 3 damage. It's about 2.5. So it's a little over 2 damage. And that does not change. This one, however, says 0.3 attack damage / which is per level, and it tells you in parentheses a max 5.7 gold. So it's a gold attack damage scaling. So what does this mean? At level 1, if I have this one, and now obviously you can have multiples, like I'm running a full page, but let's just think about these individually if you only had one. At level 1, the gate opens, this is going to give me 2.41 attack damage. This, at level 1, is going to give me 0.3 attack damage. So at level 1, I'm not even getting a full attack damage off of this. But per level, it's going to scale up 0.3. So that means at level 19, that's where that max number is going to kick in. I'm going to have 5.7. So you can see scaling will always give more than flat, but there's a cost to it. You got to wait. So I personally, this is all preference. This right here. Obviously, the gold, silver, everything like that, that's fact. You want the golds, you want the gold silvers. But this is preference right here. I personally like flat more, and I like to try to maybe implement one scaling in. So you can see I'm running flat, one half flat, half scaling. This means I'm going to get more stats right out of the gate, level 1. Gives me potential to maybe snowball the game, gives me more stats to work with. But in the end, this will scale harder. So guys, and that's the same for whatever stats you're looking at. We're not going to go through these. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Power damage, power lifesteal, power pen, cooldown reduction, health, move speed, armor, health, all kinds of stuff. But that's what the augments and mods are. Mods make up your page. They make up your items. They affect your items. They give you better passives, better damage, better things like that, better percentages through passives and actives and stuff like that. Your augments give you stats, flat or scaling, as we talked about. And hopefully you guys learned something today. This is a pretty lengthy video, actually. I was hoping to keep this pretty short, but I really think this information is important. You got to know the difference between flat and scaling. You got to know what's worth it for your mods. You don't need these credits off. You got to know what's worth it. Get these flat numbers. Take a look at these flat numbers. Maybe sometimes the health, I don't know. I don't really like them that much. Look at these flat scalings. Look at these golds, silvers. Make sure you're getting gold, silvers on here, and know the difference when you're putting a flat and a scaling mod, or augment rather, flat or scaling augment on your amplifier page. So hopefully guys, this helped you guys out a little bit. As always, you can check out some of the links below in the description, and follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you'd like. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Alright, peace out.